Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Daily Vibration. So, if you are new to the channel or the podcast, I want to welcome each and every one of you. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. My name is Kamoy, and we are doing the Daily Vibration for today, August 12th, 2021. Now, keeping in mind that energy is fluid. So, whenever you click on this episode or this video, if the message resonates and vibrates, you want to go ahead and take what you need. If it doesn't, you want to leave it. If you don't understand, you may want to shelf it because you can circle on back later to gain a deeper level of understanding. All right. So today, happy Thursday to you. Happy Jupiter Day to you. Today's a day of expansion, y'all, right? So Jupiter is all about expansion and higher learning and philosophy. And, you can really gain some wisdom by tapping into that energy of Jupiter. So Thursdays is ruled by Jupiter. We also have the sun appearing in Leo today, okay? So the sun is still in Leo. We now have the moon appearing in Libra, okay? So the moon transitioned over to Libra yesterday at about 4:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just depending on where you are, that transit could have been different. So we do have Venus fueling the emotions of the collective right now, right? So we're talking about pleasure. We're talking about luxury. We're talking about being able to balance. We're talking about love, right? We're talking about sensuality, right? Now, the flip side of that is that you, with the Libra energy, you can choose not to pay attention to things. If you can kind of like stick your head in the sand, wanting to be the peacemaker all of the time, maybe not speaking up when you should, and maybe speaking up when you really should be owning your shit, right? So just be mindful because collectively we are all affected by that Libra moon energy today, okay? So the number 8 is what's popping off for the month of August, okay? And we're talking about wisdom. We're talking about new beginners. We're talking about intuitive energy with the number 8. So really being able to trust your intuition is going to be key as you move through any of this energy. It really doesn't matter what day. You really need to be trusting and tapping into your intuition, okay? So there's not just possibilities coming around once in a lifetime. Possibilities are always available to you, and they're available to you through your intuitive nature. Okay, so if you can tap into your intuition, you can be tapped in and tuned into all of your limitless possibilities. All right, so we have that going on with the number 8 today. We have really a lot of energy vibrated on the soul plane today, right, or the superconscious plane today. We have triple twos showing up in the date today, so you need to be mindful. Hypersensitive energy in the atmosphere today, so be careful who you share what with today, okay, because you could be confiding in the wrong people, so you want to be mindful of that today. Be mindful to own your shit. Allow your emotions to be indicators, okay? Don't allow your emotions to control you. Allow them to be indicators to tell you exactly how you may need to move or what you may need to take responsibility for as you're moving throughout the day, okay? So let me also say this, as I was doing the meditation today and pulling the energy for the elements, one of the things that just kept coming out in the energy was shedding the old stuff, like not allowing the old to come into the new, right? So today, as you're moving throughout the energy, just keeping in mind that you shed old skin, and even though you may feel like you're being tested in some ways, you really want to focus on the new possibilities that are here. You want to focus on the new energy that is here. You also want to focus on moving forward, okay? So flaws embraced now, okay? Moving on, okay? So by now you kind of know your flaws, so now you can move on. You can now move past your flaws, okay? So the question that you're going to be asking yourself as you move throughout the day today is, what path have you taken? There are many paths available to you, and all paths really lead to spirit, right? So it leads to you, the guru. It leads to your soul, right? The question is, what path will you choose to take to lead you to your truth, right? So now here is where we hop on over to the elements. Okay, one of the things that I tell you guys is that you are not just responsible for mastering your sun sign, aka the month that you were born, right? You're also responsible for mastering all other 11 of the zodiac wheel. So you're responsible for mastering really all 12 aspects of the zodiac wheel, okay? And if you're going to include the 13th energy, you're really talking about you, the dot in the middle, okay? So you're responsible for mastering all of these energies of these archetypes, because they're archetypes that dwells within you as well as within the collective as well as within nature, all right? So what we do in a daily vibration is we go in using the elements. Okay, so you can take any of the elements and you can apply it to your daily activity, your daily thoughts, your daily emotions, you know, your daily actions, the material realm. Okay, so we're going to start off with the wonderful fire element because we're still in Leo season. So fire element and the fire signs are going to be Leo, it's going to be Aries, and it's also going to be Sagittarius. If you were not in Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius, what you can do is you can apply this energy or this message to the places in your life that you may need to take action or where movement may be required. Okay, now let me just say this. The message for you guys today is a spiral, okay? And when the spiral shows up in your experience, it's all about asking you to renew yourself, right? It's asking you to really begin to shed the old skin. Old things has to die, okay? Now, the interesting thing when this energy shows up, it really tells you that you've done this before. You've done this before, and you don't have to keep scraping at the old. You don't have to keep focusing on your flaws, right? What you really need to do is embrace the new you, and do that gently, right? Continue to work on breaking the habits that no longer serve you, right? You've already know what the flaws are. Now move past them and embrace this newness, right? Flex these new muscles of love, of confidence, whatever that is to you. Flex them, okay? So be mindful of what it feels like to be in this new energy, okay? Whether it's abundance with finances, whether it's abundance with love, whether it's abundance with confidence, whether it's joy with the family unit, whatever that is, embrace what that newness feels like, okay? Now, you're going to have to also, when the spiral show up, is trust in the medicine that the universe brings you as it guides you towards and through your renewal process when the spiral shows up. So it's asking you to renew yourself, and it's asking you to really just allow yourself to transform. Allow yourself to grow, okay? So when you're moving in your actions today, remember, you don't have to move in the old ways. You don't have to do things the old way you've done them and then wonder why you're not getting different results. It's time for you to embrace the new and move forward in that, okay? So be mindful of that as you're moving throughout the energy in the archetype of the fire element today in your actions and your movements, okay? So now we're going to hop on over and we're going to talk about the earth element, okay? So earth element is going to be Taurus, it's going to be Capricorn, and it's also going to be Virgo, all right? Now, if you are not a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo, my loves, what you can do is you can go ahead and you can apply this energy to the material realm. This is going to be the physical realm. This is going to be maybe where you need to be a little bit more practical and a little bit more organized in the physical realm, okay? Now, the message showing up for you today is the Seer, all right? Now, when the Seer shows up, the Seer says that you are now in a place where you have to reach beyond what you can see with the physical eyes. It is asking you to trust yourself intuitively, right? Use your discernment and see things in a new perspective. It is asking you to look for the truth in things. It is also asking you, regardless of what you're going through right now and the nuisance of it and the aggravation and the stress that some of this stuff may cause you, right? It's asking you to be able to see the pattern in things and now bring forth the clarity, right? And recognize what you may need to change based on old patterns that may no longer work for you, right? It's asking you to see beyond your own understanding of what is physically in front of you and tap in maybe to the unseen realm, aka trusting your intuition and following the leads that it guides you towards, right? Now, this may appear in a hunch. You understand what I'm saying? And sometimes it may even feel like you're moving around in a maze, okay? But I'm going to tell you something. The hidden realms, right? The rules of the hidden realms don't require a two-dimensional thought. It really requires a one linear thought, which is all is well, right? Just one thought. Just one thought. That you are one with everything and all is well, which means all of the frustration and all of the things that you may have to go through, right, is also part of the transformation, is part of the path, is part of the journey. And that's really the magic of it, because you get to see things differently, right? Now, the Seer also asks you within this moment right now to recognize that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And if you can sit and you can take a breath for that in this moment that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, then you can create differently. If you don't like where you are now, you can begin to cultivate this differently. Okay. Now this is what's happening in your physical world or the material world, right? So the earth element is asking you today, see things differently in your physical experience. If you don't like the way it is, use your imagination, use your intuition, trust yourself, right? And see things differently. Change your perspective on stuff today. Okay. So now, when we're hopping on over, my lovelies, we're going to hop on over to the wonderful ear element, okay? Now, when we're talking about the ear element, we're talking about Gemini. We're also talking about Libra and Aquarius, okay? But if you are not a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, you, my love, can apply this message to your thoughts, your thinking, okay? This is your thoughts, your thinking in the spiritual and the mental realm, okay? Now, the message for you that's popping up today is many paths, right? Now, regardless of what path you take, it all leads to spirit. So it doesn't really matter what your spiritual beliefs are, right? There's one core thing, right? That there's a source of powerful energy in which we all dwell and we can all tap into, right? Now, some of us may label it or call it different things, but really, when you begin to label this energy or this source of energy, it's kind of like putting it in a box, right? So understanding that when many paths shows up in your experience, especially in the realm of thoughts, right, it's asking you to begin to see what path in which you are operating from. Are you operating from the path of suffering? Are you operating from the path of wisdom? Are you operating from the path of bliss? Are you operating from the path of love? Are you operating from the path of loss? What path are you operating from? Right? Now, really, when this card shows up, it's also asking you to choose the path in which you want to go on based on your heart. Not based on other people's opinions or other people's limitation. Not even based on the limitation that you may even put yourself in, right? Based on an environment, right? Or based on finances, right? Not even that. It's really asking you to pick a path that your heart's desire cannot shake. A lot of people, you wake up and you have this dream and you have this itch and you have this inclination that you want to do more. You're supposed to do more. There's more. And it may even be something simple as starting your own bakery, right? Or making your own jewelry, right? And it pops up every couple of years and you kind of press it down because you don't see any money or you don't really see the value in that. So you kind of shove it to the side and it circles back again another couple of years and you kind of press it down again and you push it to the side and then it pops up again. And if it's popping up right now in your spirit and it's popping up right now in your soul and it's something that you, my love, cannot shake, right? It's something that's heartfelt, right? You owe it to yourself and to the universe and to the world, my love, to walk in that thing and watch how the universe will support you, right? When many paths shows up in your experience, especially when it's showing up in your mental experience, and we're talking about your imagination here, right? We're talking about your perception here, okay? When it shows up, it's asking you to take a big, bold step and leave the old BS behind. Having an earth you can live. The universe will support you. This is not a time for you to sit back. This is a time for you to stand up boldly and walk on that path like you're entitled, right? Declare. There's no more asking the universe for anything. Declare that in which you want to experience. Declare your experience in this earthly realm. Declare it. I'll tell y'all right now, I'm declaring that everything that is happening to me right now is really for me. I am declaring that at the end of everything that I'm experiencing right now, I'm going to be on top. Now, on top looks different to many people. On top could be money. On top could be, winning an argument. On top could be being whole, being loved, being able to give and receive with ease. Right? What path are you going to choose today? It's your choice. What path are you going to choose today? When this card shows up, it's asking you to step out into uncharted water and flex those muscles. They may be new, right? But you can't continue to do the same old things and expect different results, especially if it's not working for you, right? If you like what you've been doing in the past and it works for you, by all means, continue to do it. But baby, if you want something different, sometimes you got to do something different, okay? I don't know if y'all could hear that. There's some thunder going on. Okay, so I think the thunder is co-signing that. Okay, so that's what's happening in your mental realm today. Okay, in your thinking today. Tap into that energy today. All right. So now hopping on over to your emotions, my love. When we jump into your emotions, guess what we're talking about? Right? We are talking about the energy of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is your feelings. Okay, this is water energy, water element. Okay. Now, whoever controls you emotionally controls what you do, controls what you think, controls how you feel, right? So it is important for you to master your emotions and not allow anyone else to master you emotionally, okay? That's important. Now, your message today is the serpent, right? Now, when the serpent shows up, this is really the force of Mother Earth coming in. This is the force of the Kundalini energy. This energy is not only wise, this energy is not only coming from the tree of knowledge or the Garden of Eden or whatever you want it to be a representation of. This is a way for you to really begin to understand that there is a shedding of skin. You know how snakes shed their skin? And sometimes that's necessary, right? This energy is asking you to tap into your chakras and balance them, embrace the mystery of life, shed the old, okay? It's asking you to awaken the passion, the wisdom, and the sexuality, the sensuality within you. It's asking you to not only awaken it, but trust that wisdom. It's asking you to tap into your transformative self through your emotion, okay? This energy is beautiful, it's sensual, okay? And it's really the original manifestation energy. Okay, and if you've really ever had a Kundalini experience, okay, it can be a beautiful experience, it can be a painful experience, but once you get through that transformative process of awakening your Kundalini energy, it's something that you really can't articulate and put into words. It has to be really experienced, okay? So this energy is asking you to tap into you. It's asking you to tap into you and to be creatively free, to be you, okay? It's asking you to tap into your emotions and begin to trust, begin to feel for yourself, begin to learn yourself, begin to acknowledge yourself, begin to acknowledge what you want, begin to acknowledge what you don't want anymore. You know, and we spend a lot of time thinking about what we don't want, right? So how about we move throughout the day as we move throughout our many paths, right? Thinking about what we do want. How about that? Okay. So remember, as you are moving throughout the day today, my love, it is important for you, okay, to shed the old stuff that no longer serves you. It's important for you to focus on the new energy that's here. It's important for you to embrace the flaws now. Okay, you know what the flaws are. Embrace them. Now let's move forward. We don't have to really focus on what you're not or what you don't have anymore. Focus on what you can have. Focus on what you could do. Focus on how you could be. Focus on that. All right. So y'all know the deal, right? Do not be afraid of the dark, because out of darkness comes enlightenment. You want to go ahead and do something kind for yourself. You want to love yourself. You want to acknowledge yourself. I'm super excited because we have a lot of wonderful things coming forward. Okay. I'm working on my schedule. And as soon as I have my schedule down, packed, I will be letting you guys know what's going on. I did take vacation for 3 weeks, so it's now getting back into the swing of things. And I'm super excited. Right. So I appreciate each and every one of you. All right. I'm going to see you guys in tomorrow's Daily Vibrations, my love. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.